Will the clerk call the roll, please?
Kurtz. Petrie. Schrader. Esri. Bergson. Harper. Langenheim.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Okay. Would anybody like to offer a prayer?
Do we need a prayer?
Well, it's on the agenda.
Ralph, is that the right one? Because you got a picture.
That's a county board meeting. I've got the wrong,
Let's go with the green one, okay.
okay, picked up the wrong. Oh, well, what the hell?
Are these meetings edited? The audio part?
Okay, anybody want to move to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there,
You're talking about the June 5th minutes, right,
What?
Ralph? The June 5th minutes.
Yes.
Right.
ELUC committee meeting, June the 5th meeting?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I so move.
Okay. Okay, all in favor, whoops.
Was wondering, under items to receive, place on file, item 8, it said board member Lloyd Carter asked if work could be done in Dobbins Down similar to Wilbur Heights.
Yes, he did.
Was he? Well, he's not listed at the,
No, but it was mentioned. I think Susan mentioned it, correct? Was it?
okay, the way it was written, I'm sorry, it just sounded like he was, the way it was written like he was here, and it's
No.
like, I don't remember him being here.
Third party.
He wasn't listed, so that's my fault. No
What
problem.
What number is this?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, Ralph.
Cleared up.
It's all cleared up?
It's
Yeah.
moved.
Yep, that was just the way I was reading it.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so done. Motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Do we have any public participation? Praise be. Any communications? Okay.
Weather's been beautiful, so our environment is looking very good.
Well, I was in the hospital for 5 days 2 weeks ago.
I was wondering where you disappeared to.
Well, I also went to Colorado. But anyway, be that as may.
I love these meetings.
So you went to Fitzsimmons in Colorado?
No,
Was that before or after you went to the
I went to
hospital?
Crested Butte to visit with my family. What?
I wondered if you brought some painkiller home from Colorado.
No. Okay.
Should have these meetings more often, like twice a week
Line
or something.
7, items to be approved by ELUC. Do I have a motion to approve the recreation and entertainment license for Car X Crazy K Champaign County Fairgrounds, 1302 North Kohler Avenue, Urbana, September 13th, 2014? Motion
So
to-
moved.
Second?
Second.
Any comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so passed. B, direction to zoning commission regarding proposed notification of fire protection district R and F right license renewals, work items 11, 12, and 13 of the 2013 County Planning Commission. Okay,
So moved.
second?
Second.
Any comment? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for Mr. Hall. This is quite technical, so I just wanted to double check. Does a document like this need to be vetted by our state's attorney before we move forward on it?
We could certainly do that if the committee would feel more comfortable. All we're proposing to do is simply notify the Fire Protection District when there's an R&E license that's been requested in their district.
So it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah, it doesn't obligate them to do anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Direction to zoning administrator regarding proposed survey of fire protection district chiefs. Any comments?
So moved.
Any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Wait,
I have a question.
Please, pardon
Thank
me.
you. Can you give us a little back history? What was sort of the trigger mechanism for this survey?
Could I pass that baton to Susan Monte and let her
Oh,
explain that?
magically, Susan is right there. Thank you so much.
Yes, hi. This is part of our update to you about these 3 LRMP policies and action items.
Susan, talk about this.
So
It's here, right here.
there were 3 different policies, and just starting with the first one, excuse me, priority item 621, that had to do with public assembly, dependent population, and multifamily premises built after 2010. And since that date, here in the county, only one facility has received a zoning use permit and has actually a special use permit and has been built. So that gives you an idea of the frequency of these types of permits being issued. And the public safety, life safety code requirements are the responsibility of a fire chief. And in order to obtain information about how local fire prevention districts obtain information about permitting or activity, development activity, I thought it would be recommended that we conduct a short phone survey to the fire protection district chiefs to find out how they learn of permitting, any concerns they may have about this type of responsibility, or any suggestions they may have for the county, and how they prefer to be notified, simple things like that, just to get more information, because how often do we communicate with them other than to send them a notification about a special use permit? So that, in a nutshell, is what we're recommending as far as the survey. That applies to item 13 as well, which relates also to the R&E licensing process. Same survey questions. Item 12 pertains to liquor ordinance, and we were advised by the Assistant State's Attorneys that really there's nothing we can do as a home rule, non-home rule entity to deviate from the limits of that law. So really can't make any changes to the liquor control ordinance that relate to any kind of life safety code. So that was a no-go.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, could we suspend the rules so I might ask Mr. J a question?
Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
Okay. Mr. J, did you have a chance to read over this part related to the survey with fire chiefs, since you were once that, and do you have any comments?
A long time ago.
Your comments were a long time ago?
No, it's a long time ago since I've been a fire chief. I know I have not. I've got some reservations about it, quite frankly, because I don't, whether you're asking the fire chiefs to do something more than what they're doing.
Just trying to touch bases with them about any concerns they may have or any suggestions they may have about how we might notify them more efficiently.
Well, I think that would be good.
Sure.
And I think they would all appreciate being notified.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Susan.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, item 8. Subdivision case 197-14, Cook subdivision, final plat approval of one lot minor subdivision for an existing home with necessary waivers. I move approval. Okay. Do we have any comments on that?
Susan's there. Does she have some comments to make?
I don't have comments, I'm just here to answer questions.
What was that?
I do not have comments. I'm just here to answer questions if you have any.
You have no comments. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. B, fiscal year 2015 county planning contract proposal.
So moved to approve.
Second, any comments? Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Astrid did.
Astrid, second. Sorry,
Um,
Astrid.
Since we're sort of in committee format, before I make a motion, I would like to put out for a bit of a discussion. In Mr. Hall's memo to us, he mentions the part of the LRMP policy 4.15 that I brought up at our meeting 2 months ago. And he's pointing out that it'll need approximately 200 hours to work on that particular policy section, and that we need to consider sort of a trade to get that into the contract. I had a brief email exchange with Mr. Hall this afternoon, and I suggested that the trade be 1511 and 1512, which are on page 46. And Mr. Hall indicated that these are, the trade would not be with a high priority item that's being suggested in the contract.
Patsy, before you go on, could you clarify 4.15?
It's the one per 40,
Oh, okay.
okay? And to be totally complete in this, I could look it up on our exchange, or maybe John can quickly mention. He mentioned an alternative section that it could be substituted for. Do you remember what it was? I can look it up in your response to.
Well, on the proposed contract, Susan and I discussed items 1510 and 1511,
Yeah, that's what I had.
or 1512 and 1513. It's not that those pairs are linked necessarily, it's just that they total, each pair totals 200 hours, which is what Susan believes this item would take. And so,
Well, 1510 and 1511 have some connection.
okay.
Yeah, but 1512 and 13 are discrete in their topic area, but it is the same total amount of time. Well, I'd like to hear some discussion before I make an motion. We're in the committee format, so I thought it'd be nice to have a conversation about it.
Okay, does anybody have anything to say?
Mr. Langenheim?
Yes.
Yeah. At this time, I wouldn't be supportive of that change. I think John and Susan have gone through the plan well enough to know what's, I agree with the priorities that they have currently presented, so I can't support that, Patty, right now.
Comment with regard to that? Okay, do we have a motion?
The motion's on the floor.
Who seconded? I didn't hear a second. You made that motion, right? But who seconded?
Astrid,
Oh, okay,
I didn't make an amendment motion.
okay. No.
Well, okay, then I will make a comment. Without that change, without substituting and putting in the 1 through 40, because it's really important for us to start, the county board to start focusing on the land use issue, especially with what is beginning to happen in the north section of the county and the west section. And so I think it's got higher priority than either of the 4 suggested sections here that could be substituted. So I could not support that. And then I will make an amendment to the proposed contract on 1512, and it's only looking no significant adverse impact to surface water, and it seems with all of our water issues that are going on in the county, that it should also include subsurface water and wells. I'm amending, yes, for that. I just did it. I'm amending
Amendment policy.
to add subsurface.
Okay, well, you said a lot, Patsy. Let's go back over. You mentioned what's going on in the north and the west side for development. Champaign, I don't know what's going on. Could you elaborate what's going on that 1 per 40 could,
Yeah,
has an impact on?
I think the potential implications if in fact Central ends up north of the freeway out there, north of I-74, it's going to open up a whole plethora of sprawl and development up in that area.
well,
No,
I
it'll go beyond.
don't think 1 per 40 is going to have any difference because if the way Champaign develops things, Patsy, they are going to pre-annexation
Right.
any kind of development up there. This county's not going to have a say in any of that.
Exactly.
So 1 per 40 is really not going to do anything up there if that's the case. It's just the way Champaign's been ever since I've been on ZBA. I mean, the county was able to do something as an ELEC committee and as a committee for North Prospect before it became the big retail mecca. But after that, Champaign said, we're just going to do it on our own now. They did it through pre-annexation and everything. So I know what you're saying about land, farmland and everything, but anymore, if it doesn't have trees on it, or if it's not juxtaposed to a municipality, it probably isn't going to get developed. Unless it's close to a municipality. Like I said, incorporated municipality. Things going on out here with environmental concerns and things, like you may have mentioned with water use and disposal of sanitary sewer, the way the EPA, the federal EPA is cracking down on everything. A lot of these old systems and non-existing systems that need to be put into place, there's no money for it. And if you try to live out in the rural areas with the way the electrical costs have gone through this, just skyrocketed, and the way the EPA is wanting to control everything out there, the federal EPA, with no help from any kind of money for enforcement or anything from the state standpoint. I mean, we're just going to create all these laws and everything, but we won't have any money to enforce them. But if somebody gets pissed off at you and sues you, then you're in trouble. Or if there's a big, huge environmental group that wants to go after you, and they will, then they're going to put you out of business, probably even worse, put you in jail on top of that too. Now, I'm not against clean water. I'm not against clean air, but I'm stating the fact out here. That's what's going on. If we're developing out here in unincorporated Champaign County, like I said, if it doesn't have trees and a river next to it, or if it's not next to a municipality, it's not very affordable to go out here and do anything. And I'm kind of speaking from my own personal self and from what I've seen throughout the years, what's been going on. So I understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to shoot you down, but the reality is that's what I see. That's what I hear from different people. And right now, 1 per 40 concept is just foreign. I mean, we can put it out there, but it's not going to affect anybody because, like I said, it's not going to develop unless it's close to a municipality for the things I just stated, because of utilities, because of environmental concerns, water quality, air quality, and everything. And if it's not run along the stream in a CR district where somebody wants to build a house, there won't be any apartments or anything built out there. Obviously, we have a zoning ordinance. So I just think we can go through this procedure, but we're not going to have much of an impact when it comes to it, is what I'm trying to say.
Any further comments on the amendment? Will the clerk read the amendment so we know exactly what
There's no second. There was no second.
There was no second? Somebody should have stopped. Does anybody want to second it? There's no second. Okay, fine. Okay, is this motion, anybody going to second this motion?
Second.
Okay, now would you read the, so we can vote on it?
As
Frankly, I don't exactly know what she said.
So, as I understand, we're talking about 1512. And Ms. Petrie wants to amend this, to amend the Champaign County zoning ordinance to include provisions of policy 8.3.1. And the county will allow expansion or establishment of underground mineral and energy resource extraction operations only if the operation poses no significant adverse impact to existing land uses. The operation, number two, or B, is the operation creates no significant adverse impact to surface water and subsurface water quality or other natural resources. So the amendment had to do with adding the subsurface water. Right.
Okay, thank you. Now, any further comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye. Aye. Let's have show of hands. All in favor? 1, 2, 3. All opposed? The amendment fails. Okay, now we're back to the main motion. Would you care to read that too, also? The main motion.
The motion is to approve the fiscal year 15 county planning contract.
Okay, any comments now? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
The motion passed. Okay. Monthly reports. May 20th, 14. We got a monthly report? This?
No, there's two in the packet.
Where the hell are they?
Yeah.
52, 60, 52, 57? Oh, that's a long one.
I move to receive and place on file the May and June 2014 monthly reports.
Okay, any comments?
Mr. Langenheim, I just want to make a point on the zoning case activity reports that I see we're down about half May and about the same in June of new cases and everything else, so that's not a good sign economically. I mean, from the standpoint of economics in the county, if we're half of what we were a year ago, so in these cases.
Maybe we're lucky to be half, but that's not.
That's true, Mr. Schrader. On the other hand, permitting is way above what it was last year. So in a way, our monthly report sort of mirrors what we hear about the country. There's good things happening, but there just isn't quite as many good things as people would like to see. But if you talk to our permitting staff, they're very busy. And we do have some, we know we have more zoning cases coming in at this point, but I have no reason to think that we're going to be at the level we were at for all of last year. So, yeah, I can't explain that.
Well, I can see the activity reports are pretty busy, absolutely busy, so. But it's just interesting to see that May and June were pretty identical. Really nothing new generated activity from the standpoint of cases, so.
Any further comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Monthly report for June 2014. Do we have a motion to place on file?
They were both taken care of.
Oh, they were both taken. Am I at this meeting or am I? I don't know. Excuse me. Okay, the chair's report. Well, the chair's report is he's confused. Other than that, do I have a motion to adjourn, maybe?
Well, we need to designate items for the
What?
Items for the consent.
Oh, items for, oh, excuse me, yes. Items to be placed on the consent agenda. Well, everything under 7.
No.
No?
The subdivision case.
The subdivision report, I guess, goes, we had a negative on the planning report.
The subdivision case was unanimously approved, so that would be on the consent agenda.
Okay. That's item 8A, and that's it. Are we done now? Please, God, can I leave? Motion to adjourn. I made the second. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Before you leave, can I get your